Hey, I'm Cameron Brain. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Everyone Social. Thanks for taking a few minutes to check out this blog post. It was one that I wrote on the topic of paid social versus employee advocacy. If you have an advocacy program, if you're thinking about employee advocacy, but also trying to understand the value and the ROI that it can have to your organization, one of the best comparisons is to look at the difference between what you can generate through an advocacy program versus the costs and outcomes you generate through paid ads. In particular on social, that's kind of the best apples to apples comparison. This is why employee advocacy is such an untapped opportunity for so many companies. Fundamentally, all of your employees are on social. They are on there professionally, they're on personally, they're spending time on these networks every day, from LinkedIn to Twitter to Facebook to Instagram, et cetera, et cetera. And they have massive networks. If you're a B2B organization in particular, your employees' collective network size is very likely multiples larger than that of your brand handles, your LinkedIn brand page, or your branded Twitter handles, or any other brand presence that you have across the social networks. So giving your people content to share in their networks not only exposes you to a lot more people, but generally speaking, a lot different audience than also follows you through your brand channels. So the apples to apples comparison from an ROI and expense standpoint is what is the cost of generating the outcomes, the impressions, the clicks, and engagements when you publish something on social and boost it with ads versus simply giving it to your employees for them to share to their networks. Now, some of our customers have done some studies around the performance difference between sharing the same piece of content from employees versus brand channels without ads. And the results were quite staggering. Adobe, a couple years ago, one of our clients, looked at sharing the exact same piece of content from an employee versus publishing it to their brand handle without boosting it with ads. The engagement the employee received was almost 600% greater than what they saw through the brand channel. Why is this the case? Why should we compare the results in ROI of ads versus advocacy? It gets to the reason why advocacy matters, in particular to you as a marketer or as a comms leader or as an HR recruiting leader. Your people are really the way to hack the social algorithms. So when you publish something on a social network as a brand, the network has tuned their algorithm so that you're allowed to post it, but basically no one's going to see it. It's not going to get much of any exposure unless you start boosting it with ads. You have to pay to have your content exposed, even to your own audience, even to your own page followers. And if you're in the social media world, you know this. This has been the case for many years. And this is how these social networks make money. They make the money from the brands, right? They don't make money from users. For all of us as users, the experience is free, right? We're giving up data and so forth, and we're being exposed to ads and so forth, but we're not having to pay for anything. So the reason why employees are such an untapped opportunity, not only from a pure kind of distribution standpoint, but also from an algorithmic treatment standpoint. Because for the networks, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc., the most important part of their business, part of the platform, it's not the customers, it's not the brands, it's not the revenue, it's the users. User growth, user retention, user engagement. And as a result, the networks prioritize stuff shared by users over things shared by anyone else, publishers, brands, advertisers, etc. When a real human shares something, just as Adobe showed in their study, it will get, by default, more exposure than that same piece of content or any other piece of content shared through any other brand channel, advertiser channel, publisher channel. And so it's really a way to kind of navigate the algorithm. The same pieces of content that you're publishing through your brand channels, put those in the hands of your employees, and you're going to be generating more impressions, more engagements, more views, more clicks, all of that stuff. And ultimately, as the math in this post illustrates, for cents on the dollar in terms of what you're able to generate from an advocacy program versus what it would cost you to generate those same outcomes through a paid ad campaign. And that's to say, of course, nothing of quality, right? Would you rather have someone engage with a post from one of your own employees, very authentic, is being presented by them, versus someone engaging with an ad? So there's tremendous benefit, but if all we do is compare the outcomes on a dollar-to-dollar basis, what it costs to start an advocacy program, the outcomes you're able to generate versus what it costs to generate those same outcomes via paid ads, it's a tremendous difference. So this is one of the key reasons why we work with so many companies that have prioritized advocacy programs and getting them to scale. The more employees you activate, the greater your audience, the more outcomes you're going to generate, the higher the ROI of your program. So hopefully you find this to be of use. We will be talking about this topic more and more as we go forward. There is a call to action on this post. On the left-hand rail here, you see calculate your ROI. That is a very simple calculator where you can put in some basic data around how many employees you have in your company, and using averages from across our clients will present you with a picture of what you could expect to generate in terms of shared content, the outcomes, the engagements, impressions, clicks, etc., but also the overall value when comparing it to what you would have to spend to generate those same outcomes through ads. So thanks for your time. Hopefully you find this to be of use, and see you soon.